Alright, y'all. Quick video today. It's dark. It's like 5:30 in the morning pulling a load, so you won't be able to see me very good. But anyway, I'll just start off by saying anybody that likes wintertime, likes the cold weather, does not work in it, or at least not outside or dealing with equipment and stuff like that. It's, barely even winter. We've got some cold days started, and already, things are going wrong. uh, Last week, we had one cold morning, which was only like in the 20s or something, and the truck wouldn't crank. The batteries are weak. They've been in for 3 years. Of course, I haven't had the truck that long, but um, I was expecting that. You know, uh, Batteries ain't no good no more. For whatever reason, if you get 2, 3 years, maybe sometimes can stretch 4, that's all you're going to get out of batteries anymore. They're just done. So, put new batteries in. They were like 150 bucks a piece. So, expensive little deal there. Let's get 4 batteries in this truck. And we've been having to jump some of the equipment in the morning to get it going. It just needs a little help. And I used the air compressor on the truck here, to pump up some tires the other day when I changed some trailer tires. And it was like, 3 o'clock in the day. And the truck wasn't plugged in. And even with the new batteries, it didn't really want to crank right. So, plugging it in makes a world of difference. I plug it in at night so I can, get it going the next day pretty easy, and that worked pretty good. It cranks like you just, cut it off that way. But, the other trucks in the woods and the equipment and stuff, we can't plug them in. So we just got to deal with that. I never look forward to this time of year. Every year it's a pain. I'd whole lot rather have 90-degree weather than 20-degree weather. At least, stuff will crank and work and you don't have it freezing up. And it's not really cold enough to worry about, watering the fuel lines and gelling and stuff like that. But your air brakes will freeze and stuff like that. I had that problem yesterday morning. I got a load early in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, whatever, and started up the road, and the truck was just chattering and sounded like a transmission was going to fall out on the road. I've had that problem before. I know what it is. It means there's no air in the airbags. And before, the leveling valve, the arm that sets your height, broke. So it wasn't, pumping up the airbags. It was just free floating. This time, it wasn't anything broke. It was just, I guess, ice in the lines in the valve or something. The valve was froze. I have a little torch in the truck for, different things. And I just heat it a little bit. You can't heat it too much because it's plastic and it's got rubber seals in it. But I, put some fire on it a little bit and warmed it up, and then it started working. Now, that's something I learned from my dad years ago. Even back before I was old enough to come to work in, the woods and stuff like that. He had old Kenworth that was bad about freezing in the airbag valve. So he would take a little torch and heat it up and get it going. That's all of my life, this is all I've ever done. All I've been around is, logging and trucking and everything. So, he's taught me a whole lot of stuff, how to make things work, how to deal with certain problems, what problems to look for, like I said, with the winter time, with things freezing up and all of that. So, definitely appreciate that. It's given me a head start. It helped me a lot having that knowledge. And, like I said, knowledge is power. And it really makes a difference. Uh, Common sense, knowledge, and work ethic will take you a long way in life. And in my opinion, at least in my part of the country, it will do more for you than book learning. You can learn everything you want out of a book, but that doesn't give you the experience, the hands-on experience. That's how I learn, hands-on. I've seen, some people said that, knowledge is knowing what a problem is, or, I'm not a great speaker, but you kind of get the drift. But wisdom is being able to, handle that problem and having the experience to put the knowledge into motion. So there's that little bit for you. And a little while ago when I was leaving, I'm pulling this load for another guy using his trailer. I went home yesterday with my trailer and I tried to winterize the truck a little bit. I, took an airline loose and poured some of that, brake line antifreeze in it to keep it from icing up and all these things. And then I put some in the, pulled the red line off, the emergency line on the truck, the glad hand, and I poured some in it, hooked it back to the trailer, and put the air onto the trailer so it'll push it through the trailer and put it in the storage tank of the trailer. I thought I'd be good. I came out this morning and the trailer, the brakes is holding. I guess they're froze. I don't really know why else it wouldn't work, but for whatever reason, the brakes are froze, and I can move the trailer, but you can feel them holding. You can't drive it like that. So I just dropped the trailer and come on and got this one. I ain't got time to deal with it. I'll worry about it later. Now, when that happens, if you've got ice in the line on a trailer, another trick that Pop showed me is take the red line loose, off the truck, the glad hand, and pour rubbing alcohol in it, like 91% rubbing alcohol, and then put your brakes, air back to your trailer, and, a few minutes later, that rubbing alcohol will cut that ice out of the line so you can get rolling again. And, just different things like that. And, I'd never be able to put everything that he's done taught me into one video, but that's just kind of giving you, a few things that I've learned that he showed me. You know, Ever since I was a kid, I've been around him and, around all this equipment and working stuff and, you know, cows and tractors and trucks and skidders and loaders and chainsaws and all this kind of stuff. So, I've really learned a lot and, not to put anybody down or anything like that, but, I never really realized how much, that I did know about stuff like that he's done taught me until you're around somebody that's not from that background and, it really shines through. I mean, a lot of these folks don't even know how to put air in a tire or change a spare tire or, anything like that. And, fortunately, I've got a pretty good amount of knowledge on how things work. Not only that, a lot of times of how to, you know, make something work that is not exactly, uh, ideal or what you need in that situation, but being able to just take what you got, make it work, or at least, you know, keep you from being stranded until you get what you do need. Another thing on the trucks, uh, if you sometimes it's hard to do loaded, depends on what kind of trucks it is. But if you have an airbag blow, for instance, you can hit the dump valve in the cab here where it cuts the air off to the airbags. And like I said, it's kind of hard on the truck if you load it, but if you're empty, it's not really a big deal. Let the air out of the bags, and it'll get you off the side of the road, get you back to the shop, so you can put an airbag on. Another thing too, brake lines. If you have a brake line bust or brake chamber bust, you can, man, can't get my throat clear this morning. Trying to get the coffee to cut through all the throat sludge. But if you have a brake chamber or something bust on the trailer, if you're empty, especially, it ain't a big deal. Pull your valve in here in the cab, cut the air off to the trailer, and get back there and dump the tank. It's got a valve back there to your storage tank on the trailer. Dump all the air off. On these old trailers, I don't know about new ones. New ones may have spring brakes on them like the trucks do. In that case, it won't really help you. But most of the trailers that I've been around, because we got older trailers, once the air leaks off, they'll move. It's not holding the brakes. So you can just, dump the air out of the tank, and it'll get you rolling. You won't have any truck brakes, air trailer brakes, but you can use the truck brakes. And another thing too, some of the airlines, I think, is mainly on the truck end. If you got one leaking or whatever, you can take it loose and put a dime in it, and then put it back. And, stop the air from going through and leaking and everything. There's a lot of things. Uh, like I said, it's really more stuff than I could tell in one video or even think of, because it usually doesn't think of it until you actually need it to put it into practice. But anyway, I just want to make a quick little video on that. Let everybody know how it's going. Let everybody know, if you didn't know, winter sucks. A whole lot rather have the summer. Ideal times is really the fall of the year before it gets really cold. It cools off a little bit, but it ain't freezing yet. And the springtime is the same way. It's starting to warm up, but it ain't extremely hot or extremely cold. But in the springtime, usually you got more wet weather than the fall. But we don't get to set the weather. We just have to take it as it comes. But I guess that's about all I got for this one. Appreciate everybody watching and subscribing and sharing the videos and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully throughout all these videos, maybe you can learn something or at least be entertained.